Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. Oh boy, there's a lot to cover today, especially since I couldn't cover as much as I wanted to back on Tuesday. Feeling a little bit better now since then. I was a little sick for the past few days, but yep, I'm doing a bit better, so we're gonna try and crank through a bunch more items today because there's been a lot going that I missed. Especially when I was talking about Aroa back on Tuesday, and I didn't talk about this card because I didn't realize it jumped up this high. Resolute Pair of Eyes was sitting at about $3 to $5 for its printings a few days ago, and now it's at least $9. As much as I want to say I didn't see that coming, well, honestly, I didn't see that coming, but I'm not too surprised that this happened. This is the second most popular of the promos that came out of the same promo pack that Eva's Result of the Experiment came from. So it has been somewhat expensive to pick up, and at this point we're just back at that level of how expensive it is. I honestly don't think it's worth at this point, especially given that Aroa is more of a glass cannon deck. But Aroa is a popular unit in general, even if the deck is overall cheaper than most others. So, again, it's no surprise this has gone up, but if you're looking to pick this up for competitive value, I assure you, you're going to be pretty disappointed. Then, a tech option to consider for the new festival collection that's coming out, Aramuel is a nice tech option for the Wings combos with Celestial. If you play the Celestial Ride line or you're playing Celestial the deck, this card allows you to give your rear guards additional crit power and power in general. And it's not too bad to pick up given that it's still under $1 for a good amount of its listings. Having a few of these in your back pocket would not be too bad in case something happens where it suddenly just jumps out of proportion. Drilling Angel has seen another rocket in price, where now that it's a staple in Minerva, which has finally come out, it's looking at $4 minimum to about $7 for its high rarity. Hopefully we will get the alternate promo printing, which has a new artwork for it, but until that gets confirmed over here, you're going to have to settle for set 3, which is still pretty widely printed, so if you can find vendors with packs, you might be able to grab these a little cheaper depending. But then we start getting into Dark State staples again, especially with Chronojet Dragon's deck coming out this month. Stem Deviate Dragon, the effect crit from set 3 and the reprint from set 7 are both $8 now. And the SP is now out of stock. And then you've also got Rouse Wildmaster Riley, the effect draw for Dark States, which is starting at $7 and moves on up to $8 before you decide to go for the SP and spend over $200 on that guy, which only has one listing left. As I said, as we get closer to Chronojet, the volatility of Dark State staples is just going to get insane. Desire Devil Zito is one of the latest Greedon supports to start seeing more of a buyout. We've only got 4 listings left of this card, and it used to be under $1 for a little while too, but the spike to $3 is pretty hefty. We were looking at $1 for the past few days too, so yeah. It's not too much of a surprise given that while Greedon is the main use of this card, Lukier also makes pretty good use of this card in general for populating your soul with critical cards that you may have dropped into the drop zone. Friend of the Netherworld Ling is also really on buyout status here, as we've only got 1 listing of its low end. There's still 5 listings for its high end one. We're starting at 20 on that, and it has been selling for close to 20. In general, all the listings here are basically just $20. So if you're looking for high rarity, might not be a bad time to get in before this thing really takes off. Will it get there? Probably, because I don't think this thing is getting another high rarity printing for a little while. Clapping Dragon from the Urara structure deck for Leonorn. This one, the Leonorn deck has not been that popular, so most of the staples in here are much cheaper than Skyfall Arms or Drajuled. But Clapping Dragon is still $1 to pick up for its base rarity, and to be honest, since it's in a deck that MSRPs for what, 15 to 20, it's not too much of a surprise. If you are looking to pick this one up, it is $1, so not too bad to pick up for a playset. It does take a bit more commitment than Inlet Pulse does, but it's significantly cheaper. So if you need a budget Inlet Pulse, this is probably your best option right now. Performing Petal Dion got a massive buyout over the last few days. Even though Set 6 has been getting additional prints over the last month, all the copies that were 15 and around there are gone now. Thankfully, this card hasn't sold over $20 yet, but there are only 2 listings available now, starting at about $30, so you'll definitely want to shop around, as there should still be some more Set 6 boxes just floating. But yeah, just know that quantities are starting to become kind of scarce. If you've got your own that you want to put on the market, this would be a nice time to do so. Planet Wall Dragon, the FR version of this. This is our second printing of Brantgate's Perfect Guard that you could have gotten from set 1, but Violate Dragon's SP is over $60, whereas the FR of this guy has now gone to $20. Granted, it still hasn't sold above 15 yet, and most of its listings have been selling for $8, so I mean, you're basically mid-tier raritying your deck with this card as opposed to Violate Dragon, but if you can't afford that $60 price tag for the really high end, this is okay. Shy Vocal Nokno. One of the big disappointments of Minerva's Rising is that we didn't get the Hololive prints of the Michu set in set 8. Minerva Rising in Japan had Hololive variants of cards like this and Michu, along with its whole ride line that you could have picked up, and we didn't get that in the English variant, which is a massive shame because I know several of my friends that were looking forward to that, and I was looking forward to that too, so yeah, pretty upset with Bushiroad that they did not give us those. But in any case, this card only has 3 listings left and only 3 copies left, starting at about $13. And ultimately, $13 has not been uncommon for this card to sell at in the past, but yeah. All I can say is that Michu might start to be on the rise again now that we have no reprint from set 8 on that one. We have another case of the low rarity overtaking the high rarity with Anthem a Slap Twinkle. Not only does the R have a lower amount of listings right now, but it's at $15. And to make matters worse, someone actually bought $15 copies of this one, when in actuality, the frame rare still has a number of listings that are still under that right now. So yeah, if you are looking for this card, you might want to get into the FR at this point before the R really starts to get higher overall. Basically the same thing happened with Aura, so it'll probably happen with this card too, especially since Twinkle just seems to be going off the market on a constant basis. Blitzio Welstra got a bit more support announced earlier today, and with set 9 now out in Japan, we have been seeing a number of tops of Welstra in their local tournaments. So, this card has been running out of quantities with only 10 listings remaining, and the price is starting to get back up there. If you need to pick this up, better do it sooner than later, as this one is likely to become a pretty good contender in meta play, and in any case, it's a cool series and has a really cool character from the anime on top of that, which is part of the reason that I wanted to get into it too. Drajuled is also going up in value and has run out of listings as well. They've been consolidated into 2 overall listings from 50 Cards and Kirwin Game Store, with 2 more over here with only 3 copies overall, but we're basically looking at $20 right now for what was once a $12 to $15 card for a little while. There hasn't been any new support announced for this directly, but I'm sure this card will inevitably get more support as we go. Miroslava is the last card I want to cover today, which is from set 7 as well. And it's also run out of listings, but it certainly hasn't run out of quantities yet. There are a number of quantities available amongst the remaining listings, but they're starting at $8, and they have been selling for $10 a few times, so it was inevitable for this card to eventually get up there being a generic and being a free card for a counterblast, basically. Yeah, as I mentioned, it was bound to happen sooner or later, but I guess it's happening sooner than I thought it was going to. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any requests, just let me know and I'll see if I can incorporate it next time. See you guys!